In the days of ruin and grief and remorse and fear and justice, or justice in the system, like it reads in Hebrew 11:31 through 40, and 2 Peter 3:7 through 12. Them who are called the sons of men, who have polluted themselves with women, and so the watchers of the heavens have done the same, and the saints are in a quarrel with one another about religion and law, being that the two have found a way to put themselves together in Jesus Christ, our Savior, but only in vainglories. And then the Son of Man, Beowulf, who gave his throne to King David Wagliffe with the Savior Jesus Christ, coming to buy back that 77 um, purity that is lost in wisdom and riches and wealth in God, and buying it back from the theft that had come. The Son of Man and one like the Son of Man, midst the many watchers with the many sons of men who had polluted themselves with her, in St. Luke 21:25 through 28. The image of theft to redeem and purify, as Hosea 6 reads, the exalted ones, the exalted image of the idol theft, the exalted image of the governing theft, or the law theft, the justice theft, the woman theft, exalted in a church, and the fall of it when we are triumphant to be salvaged and sit at the right hand of the Lord of Lords, King of Kings, who says in some scenarios that it is an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth in this world, or the world will not ever find a fair justice. However, there is a trick to this everlasting continuous of eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, until we are closer and closer to the 144,000, both man and woman. The woman damsel, unmoved in him, who had came seeking to let down her pitcher, that we might have a drink of what it is exalted in her arena or aura, and overcoming hate, that the world be not blotted out in him and in her, or in them above, who seek to have life in the world. If we hated all the things around us, then it is taken away from us, and what they have with us can no longer see, and we are closer and closer and closer to being uh, closer to the enemy, who is able to come into our house and thieve and get away with all those unlawful things. Psalms 46:2 through 6. Blotted out from the city within, the sea and the river that flows from the sea into the land with great riches, and glory in the burning of the fire that comes, as it reads in 2 Peter 3:7 through 12. Them that flow from it to the land to make glad in the Son of Man above, but in him who had been favored in the world, that all else exists, good, bad, and ugly, and it's the only tree that can be purified, for nothing in this world is perfect. And when that day comes, it surely will be the day of God. And we could call it the resurrection of the saints into the holy city, created and imagined in the Son of Man, a realm of existence. It says that the great imagination is a realm of existence called Helheim, where we were all spirits in the beginning of Adam and Eve, and then we ate the fruit of wisdom and knowledge and gave childbirth, dying for God and being born with our own understanding, defining ourselves in the senses, the feel, the taste, the touch, the hear, the seeing, all those things that are manipulative to cause world conflict and great punishment upon self, and if not self, them who have favored you and lost something in this world out of hatred. And in in her, which is called the ruin in some cases, unless you are triumphant, in her, which is also called justice, building a mountain, church, ark, that they may not perish, all of them who have died by her, who had fallen short of the Lord by her, and overcoming all of them with hatred and anger, in extreme measures of them, sons of men who polluted in her with the waters of heaven, stored away with all this anger and hatred to be redeemed in him, one like the Son of Man, favored in him, worthy of wealth in God, the Son of Man and his Savior Jesus Christ, King David, Wagliff of Abibel, the woe in the child and in the lust, the death as a suck of blood in Genesis 9, sharing the ark with her in the damsel that dips her cup down to have a drink. They say it's a vampire in some scenarios that people have imagined for themselves, and storing away the salvation so that none can be thefted by the child in his choices, and life against the ruin of justice for the money's freedom, and theft again by the senses. Most people in the world are not poor people that need purification, and then most people are poor people that need purification, and then most people in the money area don't need purification, and then some of them need purification, but they're also thieves. So keeping that here upon this world in the form of there are no holy mountains in the world unless it is above in the golden city or in the cities made of silver. And if we are to store it away in our children and our kids, again, we might come into an extreme loss in the son, not the daughter. It's very rarely that it really happens in a woman, that a woman is attacked and she is filled with extremities of anger and hatred. A woman is a very deceptive um, being in all relationships, and all of them risen against us is the saints, or also known as the sons of men, the one like the Son of Man. So the world relies up relies upon people to build up that mountain of gold and silver above and store it away, that the heavens may be purified with wisdom. In the many who are exalted that are vile, for the wicked to walk on every side, the less we hate, the further and further and further away the enemy goes, and cannot come and thieve from you, cannot get away from the commandments of Solomon that Moses carried an ark for, and all else, Jesus' commandments, the commandments that I decide to practice with the literature that is written in all my trials and tribulations to overcome. But I thought I would take the time to say, even though the woman is the most deceptive thing, from the very rib came the woman, and from that woman, by our choice of eating that fruit, did we sleep with her and create ourselves in her, dying from God. So to hate ourselves in that manner is not a way to purify. I have run a lot of my life every time I break up with a woman and she can't stop fighting. And that's my only way I have found out of it. Glory be in heaven.